everyone. Welcome to My Voice Reigns Life. Letting your voice reign is possible. Black History Month Series Part 3. I know it's been a couple of days, but I'm here with a piece that I created called Questions for Our People. It is a poem, and I decided to do a poem tonight, something original, something that you all could feel, something that you can connect with. And again, after this video, I look forward to your feedback, and I thank you all who have tuned in to the series prior to this one. So here it is, Questions for Our People. Why are my people hurting? Repeatedly, all I hear is sighs that turn into trembling of the lips, twitching of the eyes. As tears begin to stream, I hear your uncontrollable cries. Once and for all, is there someone we could call? Someone dependable, someone trustworthy? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Now we're finding more than ever our trust is not worthy. Our trust isn't worthy to the community. Our trust isn't worthy to the police. Our trust isn't worthy to the school systems. Our trust isn't even worthy to the legal systems. Our trust is worthy in God, but they took this spirit out of everything, even your homes. Is anybody listening? Can anybody see or hear what's going on? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Oppression hasn't left, it's our current neighbor. Bondage never did our people a favor. I believe most are stuck in a trance, a dream, hoping one day we will live in a free world, hoping we will get our 40 acres and a mule or receive reparations for the debt of America. However, the dream is lost because we haven't united to devise a plan. We must ask ourselves, when the torch was passed, did we grab it? Or did we fumble it, drop it, and give up? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Black people all around the world, we have lost much time. Yes, it's true, we fall down, but it's time to get up. Yeah, it looks as if our ancestors made it all happen. Truly, what they accomplished was the beginning of the labor. Work was left behind. Our ancestors did us a great favor. The great favor was starting somewhere. Standing for something, not falling for anything, they were resilient. Constantly pulling themselves together, the more they were torn apart. As soon as they could freely, their heads were held high. What happened to you? What happened to us? What happened to the black man? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Lay your head in my lap, shed all your tears. Tell me all about your deepest, darkest fears. I'll listen. Then I'll tell you who you truly are. Somehow you became lost in a maze trying to become a shining star. God already knows you are. God created the land where you sin. Your ancestors were great creators and could build anything with their bare hands. With pure, honest blood, sweat, and tears, your ancestors created beauty from fears. I know it's challenging. Living in a world where you're most hated, where your enemies cry wolf. You know, the ones who claim they fear you. While having marvelous feasts, eating good off the billions made from your number, mass incarceration. What happened to our nation? Did anything really change? Or have we become defeated all over again? Are our people still being sold and bought? Sure they are, except nowadays the term is organ harvesting. Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Some think they're living it up. Praise and partying, money, fast cars, clothes, any luxurious thing money can buy. When the word of God says, Exodus 20 verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Do you remember God's question to you, to us? Mark 8 verse 36, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Quoted from the KJV. Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Black people regain self-control. Most say it's all in the votes. How can you vote if you don't self-educate? How can you vote when your home is full of hate? Dysfunction is what they call it. Aren't you tired of dysfunctioning? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. I know you want better. You sing and rap about it every day, but you trick yourselves into chanting your very death. No man wants to value the sisters anymore because you claim we're our whores. So you step outside your race and place a higher value on another face. You sold out. The black woman love runs so deep, she falls for the tricks and do what you plead, only to please you. He says, less is better, I'll wear less. He says a small waist is better, I'll waist train. He says my butt can be bigger, I will buy a bigger one. The battle is not won, our people are not one. So when will things change, you ask? Truly, it's up to you. Are you baiting others into jealousy? Are you only out for you? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Black women, I know you are tired of asking yourself, am I enough? Wondering, do he remember your touch? Just because a man left you hanging saying your attitude was too much or for whatever reason, doesn't mean there's no one left for you. You are enough. Your value is priceless. Have you forgotten how phenomenal you are? Do you know you don't have to step on the next sister? God says there's room for all our gifts, no matter the size or the width. Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Truth comes to the light, now they call it black girl magic. Many would want to sprinkle, they just gotta have it, so they eject and inject themselves to look more like us. Black women, believe more in you. Practice self-love. We are not who they say they are, but what will we do differently? Simple questions, yet hard to check oneself by looking in the mirror. Thank you guys for tuning in. This piece took a few days to create and complete. Today, I just finalized this piece, Questions to Our People. And I am so grateful that you all tuned in to this 3-part series. What inspired me to do this poem was my great friend Tyronda Bullock, and I am giving her a shout out because she did one of her first poetry openings on social media the other day, and I was just inspired. I'm like, girl, I want to join into that. And she's like, maybe you should do it for your series on your page. And I think that that was a wonderful idea, so I'm greatly appreciative to her for her support. So I dedicate this video tonight to you, Tyronda. Thank you so much for your support, girl. Like, it's greatly appreciated. But the reality of it is, as we're going into the closing of this Black History Month shortly, we have to start to ask ourselves some very important questions if we want to truly seek change. A lot of people cry and say they want to change. They want to see the changes happening. But the truth is, change starts with you. Change starts at home. Change starts with you taking time out with first yourself to educate yourself, because If you can't educate yourself, how can you give to your seed, your children? How can you help them grow and develop mentally if you're not working on self first? So change always starts from you, and it starts from home. And the simple things you do, the acts of kindness, the acts of service, is very important. It's very important to our community. Don't cry about the community needing change if you're not willing to put any into self first. Men, our men, you are beautiful. You are amazing. There's absolutely nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can create. The world is not all about basketball, rapping, and football. There's so many other things that you men are needed for, and we need you more in the communities more than we have ever before. There's many traps set up out here for you to fall into, and my greatest hope is that we rise up. We do better. We support one another as a whole. The women support the men support the women, so that we can have a better future for us and our children. But most importantly, our ancestors, they started the race. They passed the baton, but what are we going to do with it? Are we going to continue to harp and complain about the past, or are we going to do something in the future? There's many young men who need role models, who need people who can grab their hand and let them know that there's better possibilities for them. Life is not all about toting drugs and toting guns and being what they call little yummies or whatever they call them these days. Our men could do better, but we need the men because we need them for the younger men, and we need the man for the family unit as a whole, and we need women. We need our women to do better. Because even if you look at a lot of interviews with some of the greats who started things out, they shake their heads at what they see today. And I'm not in judgment, because you do what you do. I commend whoever want to be whatever they want to be. But we have to do better if we want to see change. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this series has inspired or touched you and your family in some type of way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to your feedback, and always remember to let your voice reign. Have a good night.